Questions and comments? Question et commentaire. The honourable member for Esquimalt, Saanich-Sooke.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the Minister for her remarks, and I salute the community work that she did before coming to this House. I want to try and ask her two questions here quickly. One is, as she may be aware, I had a bill to provide equal protections for transgender Canadians, and transgender Canadians being some of the people who are quite often forced to use shelters and subject to some of the most violence in the country. So I wonder whether she would join me in urging the Minister of Justice to bring that forward as a government bill. And my second question has to do with the situation of those who are involved in sex work in Canada. And under the previous government, the Supreme Court decision which decriminalized sex work was in effect overturned by Bill C-36. And now we have many people who are, for whatever reason, involved in the sex trade being subject to discrimination and to a great deal of violence as a result of that bill. So I wonder what the Minister's position is on the recriminalization of sex work that took place in the last Parliament.
Minister of Status of Women.
Well, thank you very much. Both very important questions. And I believe that as part of our mandate, we committed to shelters that are more accessible. And from my perspective, that is all women. And that is regardless of whether women have been born as women or whether they are now women. And so from my perspective as a shelter operator, there are ways that we can support shelters to make sure that they are as inclusive as possible while making sure that safety for all is respected. In terms of sex trade work, we know those women are incredibly vulnerable as well. And we hear that over and over, not just through the Murdered and Missing Indigenous Women inquiry, but of course from many sectors of our country. And I look forward to hearing the Minister of Justice's recommendation about how we can protect women in sex trade and other vulnerable situations. Thank you.
Questions and comments?